guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're talking about how winter ready your car is, just basically in case you get stranded. Unfortunately, I know the situation far too well because quite a few years back, when I wasn't a prepper as such, unfortunately when I left work they're predicting snow. We've been let go home earlier, however the snow was really heavy and it was building up fast, and my little journey that usually used to take me about 2.5 hours to get home, it took me 8 hours, and I wasn't prepared. It was horrible drive. I had to stop multiple times for different things as well. My car was sliding all over the place because it was a rear-wheel drive. It was just generally a horrific experience. So learning from this, I actually understood that it is super important, guys, to make sure that your car is prepped for your journey to home. It's irrelevant, to be fair, how far you are from home or how close you are to home. If you can walk home, that's not too bad, but anything, guys, if you just literally on your way home and you just get stranded or you have to stop because of the obstructions on the road, you have to be ready and you have to make sure that the things you have in your car are actually going to get you through. And again, this scenarios we're talking about potentially where you have to sleep in your car. Okay, so first thing, that story's over. The first thing to make sure, guys, is probably common sense. Make sure that in the wintertime your car is full of fuel, or as much as possible. The whole fact is, guys, yes, you might only do short journeys. However, if you end up being stranded and it's super cold outside, you want to be able to turn the engine on and keep yourself warm now and then, and at the same time be able to charge your certain electrical devices to keep you entertained. So number one, make sure you have your fuel in your car. Number two, guys, make sure you always have or take water with you. I appreciate when it's really super cold outside, the water freezes, it expands. It's not particularly ideal. However, just get into the habit to take a 2-liter bottle of water and just have this with you in the car just in case. Of course, guys, it's possible if there's a snow you can melt some water, but again, you need something to be able to do that with, which we will cover with that later on. And third point to mention, guys, this is just the winter ready kit. We do have a get home bag as well in the car. So it is kind of, some bits will be interchangeable, if that makes sense. And another point, really important, I feel is really important. Yes, obviously we'll have a box and you keep the things in the box. However, I think it's very important to have your bits that you're actually having as the winter preparedness to be kind of spread around the car. Just again, thinking outside the box, guys. In a really tough case, if you for some reason you've obviously gone to sleep in the car and somebody will just open up the boot and potentially take your box, you literally lost everything. And it is, I'm talking about totally like emergency situation. It's chances are happening and they're quite remote, but it's possible. And the fact is there, when you hide your things in your car or position your things in your car, it is less likely that if somebody does break into your car and just take the box, if they take the whole box, everything is gone. If the stuff is kind of spread around the car, then it's a bit less likely that they'll be able to take everything from you. Again, I know it's like thinking totally outside, but I think it's really important. So without further ado, guys, right, let's actually get on to the stuff that we're having here. So as you understand, as a prep, the important things is food, light, water, and in this instance, heat. So what we're going with, guys, is the absolute basics. We're talking about thermal socks, thermal gloves. We have a sealskin hat. This one has the LED light already built in, which is a brilliant idea, and it is rechargeable, super warm. We have one of those, okay, which is like a hoodie, and you've got the mouthful face covering as well. So if it's super cold, you get your face covered, and obviously it's got a neck tube, so it's all in one. Okay, I also have a wool scarf. Again, I know it's extras and some of them are kind of repetitive in terms of the same for your head. However, just put them around, put them under the chair, put them anywhere. It's just in case you have somebody else with you. It's just good to have extras. And one of the things you might guess might be actually quite surprising for you, but I insisted that my husband actually carry one of those things in the car with him, even if it's just being for me at some point. It's one of those little wearable blankets. You'd be surprised how warm they are. And I appreciate they're not waterproof, but you are inside your car and you can wear layers and you can wear this actually on the top of your jacket. And trust me, I've tried this. You'd be actually surprised how warm they can keep you on the top. So I think it's great. I think, to be fair, it's a little bit better than having a blanket, although we do have a little blanket there too, but I think they're a good option. So next thing, guys, moving on, let's go with the obviously basics. Let's go with the toilet paper. Yes, there's a whole roll there because, you know, in the car you can afford the luxury of a little bit of space. Taking a tiny uni bit, it's not always a good idea, especially if you get stranded for, say, for example, for the whole night. So toilet roll is a must. Okay, next thing, guys, they're not in a particular order really, but again, you should have them anyway. They're just Mylar blankets. They are just emergency heat retaining blanket. They take so little space and they're so important. As I said to you before, guys, buy them on Amazon. You can buy them in packs of 10 for just about £1 each. It's super handy thing to have. Tape up the window, wrap yourself up, wrap anything, wrap anybody. It's a really good idea. So we always got a couple in that car at any time. Next thing, guys, I've got, again, is a selection of things, but I've got one of those safety knives with the spare blades, and we have scissors. Again, guys, for whatever you might need, it's just a handy thing to have. I think wherever you go, those kind of the basic things that should be in your car anyway. Next thing we fall on is the duct tape, and we are again talking about the emergency. So if you do have a broken window and it's super cold, it's windy, you can use your Mylar blanket, cut it to pieces, cut it to whatever you need to, and then tape it up. At least you'll be kind of protected from elements a little bit. Next thing, guys, I've got one of these small MSRs, little stoves, and gas, Primus gas. So the idea is you put a bit on the top, okay, obviously outside the box, and then you can warm yourself some water, which you already have, or you'll melt some snow if you are desperate. Okay, so one of those little cups, again, you can take your whatever you have, guys, as long as it's suitable for the open fire, then this is a good idea. Right, next thing I've got here is a little rechargeable solar little torch. Again, if you wanted to say do something whilst you're in a car, obviously you can put it somewhere in the top, turn it on, and you have yourself some light. Also a good idea as a deterrent probably inside if you are actually going to be sleeping inside the car. And because it's solar rechargeable, if you know, make sure they just charge it anyway. But that's when it's important to have your fuel in a car so you can charge up your things. So make sure you do have your cables to go with it as well. Okay, right, so talking about cables, yes, a power bank and the cable. Again, depending on the temperatures and where you are, guys, in a super cold, those things, obviously the batteries won't do particularly well. We're in UK, like the maximum we had at night was minus, well, where we are anyway, probably like -7. They'll do absolutely fine. As long as you make sure that you kind of take them out and replace them, recharge them, so you make sure that if you're doing that, get stranded, there's not something that's sat in your car for like a year and it's totally buggered. Make sure you do rotate things like that, because they will obviously they will spoil over the time due to the temperature fluctuations. All right, next thing, guys, as we're there, again, some sort of entertainment is a handy thing to have, right? If you're in the car for ages, you might not want to run down your battery on your phone. Have a notebook anyway, just if you need to write something down or doodle something, just have one in a car anyway. And things like entertainment, either have a book that you like to read, or things like a crosswords, I think is a really great. We always used to have, when we used to do long journeys, a crossword books. It just, once you get bored for a while, you just drive in, you can just occupy your mind really. And I think, yeah, again, a few pens, just, yeah, make sure that you have one of those. Right, next thing, guys, is the thermal cup. Okay, yes, we have obviously some means of warming up our water at the same time that you can put that here. As I'm on the subject, guys, I've got a couple of sachets of instant soup, as well obviously as the other beverages. Again, if you want to snack on, put the soup in there, warm up some water, put it in there, and I'll keep it warm there for all night for you, or for as many hours as needed. Right, food wise, again, one of the instant sachets, they don't require anything. There's a heat pack already there that's activated. You've got forks and knives in there to be able to do it. So again, we're talking in desperate times. It's not, I'm sure, not going to taste particularly great, but it is there for an emergency. Food, again, guys, talking not just food but drink. High energy little shots. Again, guys, this all depends on the situation, where you are, what's happened, blah blah blah. But again, are really handy, because I know if you're lacking food, you need a bit of energy. If you end up walking from there, say home or whatever, energy shots are really good, individually sealed, and they're great. Okay, I do have, again, that's just my OCDs talking, but the water purification tablets, because they are coming in the little sachets, guys. I have them literally everywhere, every bag I buy, they're just everywhere because they're so easy, and one day it might just save your life. So just shove one of those in your box, right? Then in the little bag here, I've got some little hard candies, little sweets, I've got some few of the teas, little tea bags in there, and of course tablets, don't forget. I've got some paracetamol and the anti-shit tablets, anti-diarrhea tablets, sorry. So again, when you get stuck, if you God forbid get stuck somewhere, last thing you want to be dealing with is upset stomach. So do make sure you have the paracetamol and anti-diarrhea tablets, and obviously any other the medications that you potentially are relying on. Okay, and then I have lighter, for obvious reasons, to be able to light up our gas thing to cook. And that's that. I'm pretty sure, guys, I covered. Oh no, I've got one of those as well. Forgotten. The one of the latest purchases, and I absolutely love this. This is, believe it or not, is a torch. Okay, but it's a kind of not particularly the best in terms of shining, but it's not the reason I wanted one. You've got a glass breaker there. Yeah, you do have obviously a torch in there, which it does shine and it does work, but it's also very nice self-defense item. So again, I think it's super handy, guys. If you're in a car, if you're by yourself, you could be quite vulnerable. So I think it's very important to have things like that kicking around. It's very I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I'm actually tempted to smack a pumpkin with it and see what happens, but anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. Brilliant thing. I love it. Absolutely love this. It gives me a peace of mind, and I might get another one. Anyway, so that's, guys, that's that. We're covered food, water. Make sure you have water. I keep saying this, make sure you have water in your car, or take some water with you in the mornings. Okay, so that's that, guys. That kind of covers the winter thing. It's pretty basic, but again, I said, combined with the get home bag, which I'll do the separate video for you guys, because again, they are kind of go together, but at the same time, again, only relevant to probably to the UK anyway. So I'm gonna stop talking, guys. Hopefully you have found this helpful. If you have any other suggestions or what you think we should be adding on to our box, then please let us know. I think it's really important as a community, guys, that we learn from each other, we share, and share the experiences. So there we have it. Anyway, well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.